My friend, welcome to the world's best kept secret podcast, a podcast that brings you exclusive interviews from experts all over the world with life-changing work that you didn't even know existed. I'm your host, Prima Job, a partner for those that are ready to take their life-changing work in front of those whose life or business depends on it. Please follow or subscribe for more. Welcome back. Welcome to the world's best kept secret. Today I have an amazing guest. Today I have Martin. Now, I chose Martin because I have seen leaders and then I have seen Martine Boily. She has a different way she looks at it. She's been at it 34 years. Now, I don't know how old you are, but when she started this, I didn't know my second name. I didn't know my car. I didn't know anything. I don't know how old I was at that point. She spent as much life as I've been alive doing this. And so if there is anyone that is qualified to talk about leadership, it's Martin. Martin works with senior executives, and her work is really help them find a balance between being the leader and being a human being. And she says there is no reason why you shouldn't be a leader and have an amazing life and have amazing kids and be a better parent and be a son, a daughter, whatever. Like, there is no reason why you should be the C-suite executive and have everything else going south. She says there's no reason why that should be happening. And so she has found a very good way to have a balance between climbing the ladder of success and being a human being. And I'm super excited about that because I don't know, people I talk to who are in leadership, they are just in leadership. And that is why I brought Martin on, because I know that you might be in a leadership position and you feel like everyone is asking for answers from you. Everyone is waiting for you to do things. And you feel like you never have the time to breathe. You never have the time to be a human being, and if that's where you're at, grab a tea, join us. I feel this is like a boardroom table and we're just having a chat with Martin. Martin, tell us what you do. How do you help people?
Actually, I've met I meet them and we look at their goals. So we're trying to see where they're at right now and where they want to go. So we start with that really basic question. How do I help? And where do you want to go? And we start from there.
So basically, you're working with a senior executive, and what are you helping them achieve? Do they have different goals, or is it basically about, what, leadership doesn't have to be hard. I'm just trying to think for myself, like, what do they want when they come to you?
Sometimes they want to make sure that they're okay with what they're doing, that it's aligned with their value. Um, Sometimes it's just to have somebody to really look at, okay, maybe they're, I would say, manager, but their goal is to become VP. So that's different, but I can help them. Okay, what do we do to make sure that you do? What's the competency that you have to gain, and how do we make it happen for you? So we take I think we take the where the people want to go and what they feel are keeping them back. And we start there, because everybody's different and the goal in their life, it's different from one to the other. But at the end of the day is, how do I make it there? The easiest way possible.
Yes.
With not with not doing like 60 hours a week.
I now think I understand exactly what you do, which is more like we get the leaders and we help them along that journey of climbing the corporate ladder and give them what they want. And that could look like, how do I work less time? That could look like, how do I become a leader and become a parent who's present? That could look like, how do I make sure I'm doing the right thing? That could look like, how do I make sure that I am leading in my way and not like the other manager? I think I get it. Like, it's this leader in a senior management position who wants something as they climb the ladder, and what you're doing is to make it easy for them. using your own
Yes.
life experiences. Would that be correct? Or
Yes. Yes. And they have to realize that they can be themselves.
mm,
It's okay. We're all different, and
mm,
it's okay to be a different leader. You can make it by being you.
mm.
So, yeah.
Take us back a little bit, 34 years, and kind of
Yeah.
educate us around, like, how did you get here? How did you end up
Um,
in this leadership, helping
yeah.
people in leadership? Take us through that story. I feel like your story would be very important for people to relate to. There is someone listening going, it's my first year or my fifth year of leadership. And I wonder what her story is. Take us there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I've begun like everybody else. I look at one promotion, it was fine, and then you do the hours.
Mm,
Like you're always on call. When they call you, whatever the time, you pick up your phone, your cell phone, and you
mm,
climb the ladder and you start, saying what you think the organization you're working for
mm,
wants you to say.
mm,
So you shift a little bit from being you to being you know, the way they want you to be. So I did it like for many years that way. And after I would say too many years, unfortunately, something like 20 years, I realized one day that my kids were grown ups and I've missed so much. I've missed so much of family time. And I was tired. I was always tired. And I really didn't really like the way I was doing it, but it worked. I had the big title, the money, and everything. But I was questioning, I started questioning myself on, does it really have to be that way? So I changed a little bit, saying, okay, let's change the way I talk to people, saying, I remember one day I said to my team, at 5, let's finish it. Let's disconnect. And everybody was like, okay, what's happening with her? But I said, it should be that way. You shouldn't be on call 24/7, all year around. You should have a life. So I changed little bits at the time, but it was hard because, when you change, your organization look at you like, okay, not sure she's doing the right thing. So yeah, I started, look at other ways to do things, put something else in my toolbox, start to be more empathic, starting to listen to team members and change the way I was leading.
mm.
And it took almost 10 years to be finally in front of a mirror saying, you know what? I'm at that point when I love what I do.
Mm,
Leadership, being a leader was like being in any other job. I can do what I want, love what I was doing, and still have a life. And took me too long, I think. So after 30 years, I decided that it shouldn't be that way. And if I can help other leaders
mm,
so they don't have to wait 30 years before, looking at themselves, say, I love what I do. I'm a
mm.
good leader. And you know what? I love what I do. And that was my main thing. So that's why I shift and say, I'm going in coaching and try to help people. And so they don't have to do the struggle and everything that went with it on my path to being a big president at one point. And yeah.
I love your story. I love what you said at the end, which is I love what I do. I can do what I want. I can still have a life. And when we were backstage, you said I can be a human leader.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was very interesting for me. That I don't have to lead the way everyone else has done it.
Hmm.
I can
Yep.
send people home at 5 p.m. and I can face my boss or whoever has hired me around that. Like
Hmm.
you don't have I don't know that you're saying you can do far. I just think you're saying the organization may not expect you to bend 100% to what they do. They may appreciate that you create something that may be different, which serves people better. Is that what you're saying? Like sometimes we are scared, but the organization might not actually, I don't know. I guess I need clarity there. Like Because some people are like, the organization wants this and they want this and they want this, and we work till 8, and I don't want to be in trouble, and I'm going to do my work, and my SOP, my job description said X, and I'm going to do X. Are you saying that you're not a tree, you can move around things?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yes,
you're
you do.
saying?
Yes, you do. And most of the time, the organization, what they want to know is that you have efficiency in your team and they want numbers. They have to know that you're doing your numbers, whatever they are, and that they give you. But they don't give you the way you have to do it to do their numbers. What I'm saying is that if I can give you tools to make it easier and make that your team love doing what they do, they love to work with you, then your numbers and your efficiency will be there and you'll be happy with it, and your organization will have what they want. So you'll be okay. They want you'll be doing your objective, and that's the end point of it. So, like I said, is what I'm saying is that you're doing what the corporate want, but you're making it work for you too, and make sure that you're okay with it. So you lead with humanity and value, and you can, and you say to your team, you know what? Let's do this. And most of the time, teams that are happy are doing better, actually.
Are you saying that we have the goals to meet, we have the parameters, we have the KPIs, but the how is in your hands, and you don't have it to do it like others have done it. The how is where the fun is. The how you do it is the secret. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So how different is first of all, what is the problem that most of the senior professionals seem to have when they come to work with you? What problem do they have?
I would say that leadership is being sometimes really alone. I see that a lot. So people think that you have all the answers, and that's not true at the end. So when you don't have an answer, sometimes you start questioning yourself. So it's a little like you're rolling around. I don't have the answer. Am I good at what I do? And then the confidence just it's hard. So let's try to work on that. And we work on all the stuff that make sure that you are in control of what is happening. How do I get an hour a week? How do I plan my priorities? How can I, so there's a lot of stuff, but at the end is make sure that you have somebody to talk to in a secure place that understand what you're going through and give you the tools that you need, because you're different, and it's okay. It's great that you're a different leader.
I like it. I really like it. It's lonely at the top.
Oh yeah, it is.
I remember when I
People
was in the
don't
job.
realize it, but it's hard.
When I was in the job, I expected, I don't know, people expected me to have answers, and sometimes I did not. And I looked at the guy above me and I said, if I start asking him, he'll think I don't know what I'm doing. And I looked at the guys below me and I said, if I start talking to these people and wanting answers from them, they may think I'm weird, because most
and weak.
Most managers don't look to the people that they lead for answers. And so I didn't always know where to go, because the guy up there expected me to have the answers. The guys down here expected me to know the answers. I was like, I don't have the answers. And so I like how you're saying it, because it's really lonely. Like, it's really lonely. Everyone expects to have the answers, and sometimes, quite honestly, you're a human being, and you don't have the answers. It's a bit lighter for me as an entrepreneur, because I can tell people I don't know the answer to that. But when I was in a job, it wasn't easier. It was just harder when I was in a job. I thought that I had to have the answer. That made it really.
So that's it. And you have to wear a lot of hats, and so you have to learn.
Take us through that process of leadership. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you take people from, for example, if I came to you and said, You know what, Martin? I don't know. I feel like I'm trading my soul for for, for the for the leadership position. I don't know what to do. I feel like I no
Yeah.
longer have time for myself. I feel like I'm not an absentee mom. I'm an absentee mom right now. I feel like it's too much on my plate. I feel like everyone
Mhm.
wants answers from me. I just don't feel the money is coming, it's paying the bills, but I don't know that I want to be here.
Yeah.
Can you help me
Um,
create more time? Can you help me feel a bit lighter? I don't know what to do. I just know that I'm overwhelmed.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, um, first I would say that, yeah, we start to look at what you think is the problem and
Mm,
where you want to go. So that's first, and then we take a little test that I like to say. If there's no notes or anything, it's
mm,
just to look at your competency, and we go at it,
mm,
and to start some kind of reflection on what you're good at. I like to shift the way around. People look at what you have to work on. I like to focus
mm,
on your strength and how do I make it so good at what you do. You already have the strength that other stuff comes and we can work on them, but it's less complicated. So we really work on your strength. And because you're better at what you do and you feel more confident, and with confidence, other stuff start to come in place. And
mm,
then we can, so I would say that what I say to people is that, yes, work on your leadership, but get to know yourself. And
mm,
when you know what yourself, then you can be a better leader, because you cannot separate yourself. And people try to focus on, when I'm a leader, I'm a leader. And when I'm me, I'm me. And I'm like, no, you'll be happy when it's all you, you
mm,
know? So that's what I'm working on, being you, and, bring the two part of yourself together, being you, being a leader. That's the old you. And we start with that, and then everything follows. And then I give you tools. How do you manage to get an hour a day? Or how do I manage to be more empathic without seeming crazy? And then we go step by step, slowly,
mm.
and to make sure that it goes with your personality, because I don't want to change you. The ultimate goal is to really show you how you can be yourself as a leader.
Mm.
Like I said, with confidence come comes the other part. Then you'll say, "Oh, you know what? I just got 5 hours today. I can play with my kids. I can go to the zoo. Oh, that's nice." And the overwhelm just start to melt down.
So what
So
you're
it's
saying
really,
is it's through self-awareness and really
oh
leaning
yeah,
more into who you are. As you
yes,
said before, I think it's human leadership. Not
yes,
separating the boss or the leader from the human being. That's what you're
mhm,
saying.
yes, just being you. And it's okay. People forget, it's like they're a little scared of
Mm,
bring themselves at work, but it
mm,
should be,
mm.
because it's hard to, separate yourself every time. At one point you crack. So you have to remember who you are. And then you can start being happy at what you do.
There is something you said when we were backstage, and you said
Yeah.
leadership doesn't come with a book.
Oh
Can you
yeah.
expand on that?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there on leadership, but
Mm,
there's a lot of stuff on parenting too. So,
mm,
but at the end of the day, it's experience. You
mm,
try stuff, and unfortunately you make errors, and it's how you get from these error and try to say, okay, if that happened again, that's what I'm going to do. So being a good leader comes with experience and tools. And sometimes you fall down, but what I say to people is, I'm trying to give you the tool so you can get back up and do better the next time, and do better when that obstacle comes again. So for me, leadership, uh, yeah, it's a little bit like be a parent. There's a lot of stuff out there, but at the end, it's experience. You have to test it. You have to show it. You have to, it's sometimes it doesn't work. Because people are human and we're all different and yeah. So it doesn't come with a book. You have to try.
I'm laughing because in 2020, when I came online, before then, I used to read so many books about marriage. I used to go to so many seminars about marriage. And I was not married and I was not even dating anyone. But I had this curiosity to think that you can learn marriage, you can be educated. I don't know. My sisters used to like, where do you read so many books about marriages? And I was like, because I don't want to make the mistakes you've made. And they're like, but you're going to have to make your own mistakes. And I'm like, but if I know, and then I used to read all these books. And I remember in 2020, when COVID shut down my bricks and mortar, my first instinct was to go online and show people how to have it all: a good marriage, a good health. Like, I was so motivated, and I had a business called How to Have It All. How to have a great relationship or great marriage or whatever. How to have money in your life. How to have a great health. I was so motivated. I had read so many books. There was one problem. I didn't have any of those things. I didn't have one of those things. And so people would read my work and they would say, but Prima, are you married? And I'd say, no. And they're like, yeah, then you can stop talking. And
Yeah.
I am so glad that business didn't work, because today I feel more unqualified to talk about marriage than I spoke than before. I have never felt so unqualified to speak about marriage like right now when I'm married. And I am so glad I didn't write a book. I am so glad that business failed, because it was a book business. And now I look back and go, I was crazy. What was I thinking? So I like that you said, like, leadership doesn't come in a book. And the more experience the speakers have been having on, the more they keep saying, you know what, the reps, you have to do it. You have to fail.
Yes.
You have to learn, because some things can't be taught. I think the way I hear you saying it is, some things can't be taught, they can be caught. Some things you can catch them. No one is going to teach you. And so the way to having sanity as a leader is not to just read every book on the planet, is to actually get in the weeds and start leading and get the tools. And every time you fail, just get up and learn and just get up better and start again.
That's it. And there's stuff you can learn, but I think that leaders at one point you come to realize that it's better to just have somebody to help you and talk about it, because you learn better every time something happens, and you cannot have it all in a book.
What are the mistakes you look back and go, man, I wish someone told me that when I was starting out 34 years ago? What have you been like your biggest mistakes as a leader that you want someone today to just learn from?
Yeah, so many things, but I think that the biggest mistake was to not stop being me. And like I said, I started 30 years earlier, so it seems like a long time ago, but people were not always really nice. I was a woman and I was working in a male sector, and I was accepting all the bad jokes and everything, and it was really shaking me. And if it had to go back, I would say that's not acceptable. People have learned, now it's better, but we're still, you have to make sure that that's your bubble. You don't have to be loved by everybody. You have to be respected. You have to look like somebody who knows what they're talking about. And I think that would be my ultimate challenge. Stop trying to be loved by everybody. Just do it, and you're hoping that most of them will like you. But I was really trying to please everybody. That was my biggest mistake. I forgot myself somewhere out there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, Trying to make everyone love you, I think it's one ticket to unhappiness or frustration or misery.
Yeah, it was really hard. Like I said, I think that's why I changed a little bit my path in becoming coaching, because I said, I wish somebody had told me.
If there was a leader listening to us right now and they're probably in their first year of leadership, and you were to say, you know what, if you never do anything or hear anything I say, just do this one thing, you'll be fine. What would that be?
Something really, really ordinary. Look at yourself in the mirror. Are you okay with it? Are you okay with it? But really question yourself. Are you really okay with it? If you say yes, that's fine. For me, it was a no. When I was really real to myself, when I was alone in my room looking at myself like, nah. And I would say, really question yourself. Are you okay with it? And if it's no, well, start the change, because you can be happy in what you do and be happy. And if you're happy at what you're at your job, you'll be happy in your life, because it comes together. You cannot separate yourself, and people forget that.
When I was reading your bio, you said when you became a leader, you very quickly noticed that you didn't just want to lead; you wanted to create an impact.
Yeah.
Can you talk more to that?
Yeah, I wanted the people I was working with saying, you know what, she made a difference. And, I was in sometimes you're in a bad place, or people have personal problems, and I wasn't only saying people have a leader with an open door. I was actually doing it. Um, and For me, that was it. So now when I go back, I still have, communication with all colleagues and things like that. Or I still talk with some managers and people I worked with, and they say, you know what, we remember you were always doing your numbers or things like that. And my team was remember me because I was, listening to them, and I was listening. I made some little things like, going with my team saying, let's take 15 minutes and, just go ahead with ideas. How can we make it better? And they were like, she's actually listening to us. We have ideas and we're listening. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And little stuff. So that for me was, I wanted to make sure that people remember when they worked with me, or whatever not even in my team, sometimes as colleague on other departments, and I can look at them in the, whatever, I come back and meet with them a couple of years later, and they say, well, we had fun, or, I could talk to you, and, yeah, don't remember saying, oh my God. For me, that was it. I wanted to make sure that I made a difference. And if I can help somebody, even when I start work, the idea was to, if I can make a change, I can help somebody, then I'm, I, I'm happy. I help.
That leads me to my next question. When I was opening your file, you said, I want to help leaders avoid pitfalls. I want to help them connect with who they are. I want to help them develop personal relationships, team cohesion, so they can be, I think you said, so they can be unstoppable. Like, how do I become unstoppable as a leader? Can you talk more to that? The unstoppable leader. I think I saw that on your file. Can you talk more
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. Well, like I said a little bit earlier, it's to get to know yourself. And I'm really about emotional intelligence. How to be empathic without being sympathetic, how to make an impact, do your numbers, but people feel that they do have value, that you do, they can have, a little good job at the end of the day, little stuff. So, uh, and like I said, avoid the pitfall, because going up the ladder, I failed a lot because I was forgetting, that I was working with human. I was, you know, I was, working with people who have life. They were not always leaders, and they want to get up at the job at 5, and I was like, no, I still have stuff to do. So yeah, like I said, it's been a hard way up, a hard way up. And but at the end, like I said, little change at the time, and it happens. So yeah.
What would 90-year-old Martin tell you today? What advice
Oh
would
boy,
90-year-old Martin give you?
I think I would say to myself, and I do say it to my kids though, um, do what you love. Because at 19, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how.
Mm,
And I just, went with the flow and didn't really question myself on what do I want to do in life. And loving what you do is the first step. And you just finish school and you're not really aware of what's going on. So I would say to myself, make sure that you're doing what you love, whatever the job you decide to do, but make sure you do it for the right reason. I think that would be my first thing. That's
mm,
what I say to my kids anyway, when they have to change, they have to decide
mm.
what they're going to do in the life, even if 19, it's a little, you're young and you can change, but I think that would be my thing.
What do you want people to say about you when you're no more? What do you want your legacy to be?
Um, she tried to help.
Mm,
I really, I feel really value in that. So, and yeah, I think that would be it. Um, I want to make an impact. I don't know how. I'm still working on it. I think I'm gonna work on it all my life, but that's really what my goal is, to make an impact. I'm not sure how yet. Maybe I'm already did. I don't know, but I'm still working on it.
There's a leader listening to us right now going, gosh, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. It just feels lonely up here. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if I'm doing my best. I don't know if I'm still a human being as I'm doing this leadership thing. I don't know
Mhm.
if I'm still the person I should be in real life. I don't know if I've turned into this, this leader that is heartless. And you had a minute to speak into their life. What would you say to them? What would be your words of wisdom for them?
Find somebody to talk to. It's easier when you talked about it to figure it out.
Mm,
Find somebody to talk to, and yeah, I always say to people, don't start to go in your head.
mm,
Talk it out. And sometimes you do already have the answer, but
mm,
you just go too much in your head. So I would say, talk it out, find somebody, find a coach, find a
mm,
mentor, whatever you need, but talk it out. And yeah, and you'll figure it out. I have confidence in people, and
mm,
most leaders have the answer. It's just that at one point you're too much in your head. You're too overwhelmed with all the job that you have to do, all the answer you have to give to everybody else. You
mm,
forget to give your own answer.
mm. I love it. If there is one thing I've learned from Martin, it is you don't have to be the person you're not. You don't have to lose yourself. It doesn't have to be so hard. You don't have to do it the way everyone has done it. You have the answers within you, and you can be a human leader. The answers within you. Find someone to talk to. Find someone that can help you get more in touch with who you are so you can step into that leadership and not have the desire to have two characters. You don't have to live a double life. The more of you can bring to the marketplace or the leadership or the company, the better for you, the less work you have to do, and the more people will appreciate that. What did I miss? What else do you want them to remember?
I think it's really that find a way to make it work and be happy in your life and
Mm,
your job, and
mm,
everything else is going to fall into place.
mm.
Yeah.
I know you've served over 100 clients. And I know you've served a lot of clients offline before you came online. And so I know you've been in this business for a long time, long time.
Yeah.
And my question usually, which I like to ask is, what do you find so challenging in the online industry? What do you find so challenging in, trying to do this thing online as an online consultant?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that what I find difficult is to get the right message. When you talk to people, there's an emotion, there's something there. To write the right wording on your message is really difficult. And it's, my expertise in leadership, it's not really in marketing. So, so so it is challenging when you go online because it's something else. Whatever your expertise in, if you're not in marketing, online is marketing, and that's difficult. I think that I'm still learning for the online for the online stuff. The leadership is fine. It's the marketing that it's really an issue here.
A lot of my guests will say, you know what, Prima, being able to articulate what I do in a way that people understand me, in a way that the right people come to me, that has been so hard. And
Oh
sometimes I
yeah,
wish I didn't have to do it. Sometimes I wish that I didn't have to be a better marketer to change lives. And you're not alone. Like
yeah,
it's a problem. The more experience you are as an expert, sometimes the least time you've spent trying to say the right things. And
yeah.
the other thing I really find is what I find to be hard for most experts is they just can't seem to get down on earth with the person. For the longest time, I used to think I need to know what to say and all of those things. And I began to realize that the more I dropped that and just started meeting people where they are, the better I got.
Mhm.
The more I say to people, you know what, I don't even know what I'm doing right now, but I'm working it out as I go. The more people said, yes, give me the thing. And I'm like, I haven't even finished creating it. And they're like, yeah, I don't care. Give it to me. The more
Yeah.
I tried to say the right things, the more people didn't care. The more I said, like when I was creating the best kept secret podcast, I would say, hey, by the way, I even haven't put it on the apps for podcasts. And so just know you're going to be one of the people. And people are like, I don't care, send me the link. When I started to sell the offer itself, I was like, by the way, you're the first one to offer that. I don't care, give me the thing. I don't even have a landing page for it. No, give me the thing. Like I noticed that the less I tried to say the right thing and have the right words, the more people were like, yeah. And so for me, that has really flipped the way I look at marketing. And I'm now like, people just want you to meet them where they are. Do you serve today? Who is your audience online? Because I don't know if we can, I guess we can still hit offline right now because there is someone listening and they can share it with someone. And so who would you love for your message to reach?
Um, Executive leader, I suppose it's really my where I'm at, my clients right now. I would say manager and up, people who have a couple of years of experience and like I said, lose themselves in the path. When you're starting up, it's something else, but at one point you're a little bit higher. As so I would say manager and up are really my clients right now.
If we had a senior person in a senior leadership position listening right now and they were like, oh, I like Martin, I like that she's been doing this for 34 years, she's given me some nuggets of wisdom and I want to connect, what should they do to reach out to you? Where should they find you?
I'm on Facebook right now and I'm on Instagram. So they can reach out. I do go on there every day. That's really the way to go. And uh, they can look me up and I'm going to make sure to reach out. That's really much online, the process that I'm right now, Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, connect with Martin. Martin is Martine. Her second name is Boily. I'll be sure to put everything in the show notes, so you can just scroll through the show notes and you should see how to connect with her on Instagram, on Facebook, or in any other places you may decide that you can reach her on after we get off the microphone. Sometimes people remember, oh, they could come to the website. And I'm like, no problem. So we'll put everything in the show notes. If you're listening to this and you feel like it served you, please consider writing the show, consider subscribing, consider sharing this with one person that needs to meet Martin. Someone in a senior leadership position, someone that has been around, they've tested the waters, but they just feel like there should be more to this. There should be a way I can bring my whole self to this and feel more fulfilled from it. They feel like it needs to look different, it needs to feel different. They feel like they want to do something different, they just don't know how it looks like. They feel like, you know what, I've actually lost myself in the process of being a leader. And I don't know what to do. That is the person that will benefit from Martin's message, from Martin's services. Martin, what are your last words to the listener?
I think would be, be you and love what you do, and leadership can be fun. People forget that leadership can be fun. Yeah. It doesn't have to be hard.
It doesn't have to be hard. You can be you, and leadership can be fun because it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
That has been beautiful. I've enjoyed myself, Martin. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I have learned a lot. I've taken notes. But my biggest takeaway is it's lonely at the top. But remember, you don't have to be alone, and you don't have to be all by yourself. And remember, it doesn't have to be so hard. Leadership gets to be fun. You have the KPIs, you have what people want, but you decide the how. And the how doesn't have to be hard. The how can be fun. You can still be a human leader. You don't have to lose yourself in the process. I honor you, appreciate you for listening in. You could have been on one of the millions of podcasts out there. You chose this one. And so I honor you for that. I celebrate you. I thank you for your time. And I hope that sincerely this episode has helped you. If you know one person that could benefit from this episode, if you know one person that needs to meet Martin, it would make a whole lot of a difference if you share this episode with them. The more subscribers we get on this channel, the more people rate the channel, the better the game that I can play, the better the speakers I can bring, the better I can make this. And so thank you for partnering with me, for sharing, for subscribing, for rating, and all of the good things. And overall, thank you for spending the most precious gift you have, and that is the gift of time with us. Until next time, my friend, have a great one for now. That is it, my friend. To listen to more exclusive interviews like this one, simply go to the World's Best Kept Secret podcast.com and select interviews based on preferred topic.